Joining me now, Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Senator Coons, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show. You are going to be sitting. Yeah, you are going to be sitting in judgment in that Senate impeachment trial. Do you want to hear from former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen and also the person President Trump was thinking of replacing him with, Jeffrey Clark?
Well, Jonathan, the striking thing is that with every day, there's another revelation about just how deep President Trump himself was involved in this unprecedented and completely inappropriate action in the modern era to try and interrupt and overthrow the results of an election for President of the United States. I think those of us who were in the chamber on that memorable Wednesday night, January 6th, initially didn't realize how big the mob was, how violent they were, how aggressively they were storming the Capitol. It was only later that we saw it on television or got caught up with our offices or our families that we realized what had been going on outside the Capitol. And in the days and weeks that have followed, we have learned more and more details about the ways in which they brutally assaulted Capitol Police, in the ways in which they were organized and encouraged by President Trump, and now these more striking details about Trump's desperate efforts in his last days to try and replace the acting attorney general with someone more solicitous of his conspiracy theories and potential financial ties between the Trump campaign and the organizers of this insurrection, this sacking of our Capitol. So absolutely, I want to hear that testimony and those witnesses. And I think it's a good thing. We've got 2 more weeks for these facts to come out and for this case to further develop.
Would you also want to hear from your fellow Senators Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley? Because a letter has been sent to your committee, the Senate Ethics Committee, calling for an investigation into those two senators and their role in what happened on January 6th. Should they testify?
Well, Jonathan, I can't speak to anything that's happening before the Senate Ethics Committee, but I'll say that we should have a thorough hearing and airing of all issues related to the January 6th insurrection.
And we just showed a copy of the letter that was sent by fellow senators calling for an investigation into Senators Hawley and Cruz. When can we find out from the committee, from you, that investigation is proceeding?
You won't. That is literally something I am prohibited by the rules of the committee from saying. We don't issue press releases. We don't provide regular updates. One of the most frustrating things about being a member of the Ethics Committee, Jonathan, is that the folks who file complaints talk about it a lot. The folks who have a complaint filed against them talk about it a lot. The only people who can't talk about it are the members of the committee.
I had to try, Senator. I had to try. Let's switch gears and talk about the COVID relief, President Biden's COVID relief package, $1.9 trillion. We're already hearing pushback from your Republican colleagues that the price tag is too high. Can President Biden get that relief package through on a bipartisan basis?
Well, Jonathan, as I look back at 2020, I have both an encouraging example and a deeply frustrating and discouraging example. For those who say the Senate has gotten nothing done in the last 4 years, that there's nothing but gridlock and an inability to move, I'll remind you that last March, we came together in just over a week, crafted an 800-page bill from scratch and passed it unanimously that delivered $2.3 trillion in relief to the American people, the single biggest spending bill, I think, in American history by dollar amount. What was then incredibly frustrating was month after month ground by as the pandemic and the recession got worse, and the Senate refused to take up and act on the bill that the House sent over. My concern is that we'll see a replay of the latter fact pattern, not the former, the discouraging one, where the House will soon take up this proposal from President Biden, the American Rescue Plan. I expect the House will pass it and send it to the Senate. And you're right, the early indicators from my Republican colleagues are discouraging. I think we should have an open amendment process and allow Republicans to participate in shaping that bill. But frankly, we're going to have a very difficult year if Republicans are unwilling to see the depths of need in our country. We have 7 million Americans actively seeking work right now on unemployment and desperate for us to extend unemployment. We have millions of Americans all over this country in long lines waiting for vaccines. We need more resources to speed up vaccine distribution. And frankly, food banks all over our country are seeing record numbers of Americans seeking assistance just to stave off hunger. I think there's plenty of justification for our providing more support for state and local government, for our overextended and overworked public health workforce. And I frankly hope that a piece of our relief package will be the use of AmeriCorps, the National Service Program, to help provide some temporary, badly needed relief to those on the front lines and investment in strengthening our public health workforce for the long term.
Senator Coons, I want to squeeze in one more quick question, give you 20 seconds. You are introducing a bill, or you're supporting a bill supporting Eugene Goodman.
Yes. I believe Eugene Goodman deserves a congressional gold medal for his bravery, for his quick thinking. It's funny, as we were all on the stands before the inauguration began, the one person who walked through and had every senator trying to get a picture with him, trying to give him a fist bump or to just express their affection was Officer Goodman. He deserves this medal, and I'm hopeful that this bipartisan bill will move quickly.
Senator Coons, I hope you are right. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday Show.